I've been living on an old farm and it's finally beginning to feel like summer here. I thought I would share with you some of the things I've been doing recently. The daffodils in the orchard are finished now, but I collected some of the stems to dry so that I can experiment with them as a fibre. I deadheaded them and spread them out to dry in the studio. The rosemary has been growing really well and I wanted to infuse some olive oil. I put some in a little bottle and filled it with enough oil to cover the leaves. So I've got this chest. I have a load of fabrics in the studio that I need to store, and I thought this might be a good thing to put them in. But it's really filthy, so it needs a lot of cleaning and probably a bit of repair because the bottom is looking a bit rotten. I cut a new piece of wood to fit and nailed it on. I used water to scrub the whole chest and it was amazing how much dirt came off. I took out these boxes that were inside. I think I can use them for storing other things in the studio. I've been learning about mushrooms for a few years now, and I've been able to recognize this one called chicken of the woods for a while, but I've never found one growing that was fresh enough to eat. So I was really excited to find this and try it. It's called chicken of the woods because the texture is supposed to be like cooked chicken. So I shredded it into pieces and cooked some in a pan. I haven't eaten actual chicken though for almost 10 years, so I can't really say if this comparison is accurate. There was so much left over that I dried it in the dehydrator to store for later use. I made a few more linen bags for my Etsy store using upcycled fabrics. put up some trellis and planted my beans in the vegetable patch. I used some daffodil stems to tie them on, as they only need support until they grow into the trellis, and I thought this would not last too long and suffocate the plants, which can sometimes happen with string. I collected some seaweed in Cornwall last week, and when I got back I washed and dried it so I could store it. I would love to eat seaweed fresh, but I don't live that close to the ocean, so this is a way I can eat it a bit more often. It rehydrated quite well in some hot water, and I added sesame oil and soy sauce to make a sort of seaweed salad. I copied a pattern from this shirt I have to try and make a copy in a different fabric. While I was working in the studio with the doors open, a bird flew in. I think it was a young robin, and I eventually caught it, but it seemed dazed and stayed on my hand for a while. Go free. Maybe it had a headache from bumping its head, but it perked up after a few minutes.
Where don't you go?
It was really amazing to just spend time with this other creature. I was actually quite sad when it flew away.
Come on, time to go. Time to go. Bye.
I bottled my fermented turmeric soda and mixed up some kombucha with fresh tea and sugar. This needs to stay at room temperature for a few days to allow the culture to grow and turn the liquid into kombucha. Okay, I'm actually really pleased with this chest. I love how it's turned out. I love the wood, now it's cleaned up. It's got some old paint stains on the top here, but I think I'm just going to leave them. I actually quite like them. It's part of the story of it. So yeah, I think it's ready to fill with fabrics that I've been hoarding for years. So this is my pile of fabrics. I used to work in some fashion companies in London where they used really good quality materials, and so I kind of kept any bits they were throwing out. I planted out some of my vegetable plants. I've had a lot of trouble with slugs eating everything, and my friend recommended putting wool around the plants to help with this. I really hope these squash plants will be okay. I also went to Dartmoor with some friends to go climbing. This place is amazing as you climb up above the treetops and can look down on the whole forest. It really reminds me of how our whole landscape would probably have looked many eras ago before the trees were cleared.